Good morning, everyone, and thank you for tuning in today. I'm Jenna Stauffer. Later on in today's show, I'm going to be speaking with Dr. Stephen Ragusia. Dr. Stephen Ragusia is one of the most experienced and professionally recognized psychologists here in the Keys, and he's going to talk with us about the impact that divorce plays on a child's life. I'll also be speaking with Dr. Ross Williams. He's going to talk with us about healthy dieting. To get things rolling, though, this morning, my first guest, he is an internationally recognized painter of the natural world. As you can tell behind me, his paintings are clearly based on his love for nature. Jim is very well known down here in the Keys. He's widely collected and considered to be one of Key West's finest artists. Now, fortunately for all of us here in the Keys, we can check out his work anytime we want. We just need to make our way down to 1111 Duval Street. Jim, thank you so much for being on the show. It is a pleasure having you.
Thank you, Jenna. It's my pleasure to be here.
Well, first of all, I just have to say that you are so talented. Your work, our viewers can see your paintings behind us. They are just so beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. And Jim, now, I kind of read up on you a little bit, and
okay.
I understand that there was never any doubt from when you were a child that you were going to be a painter.
No, there really wasn't. It's kind of what I always did. You know, even graduating from college with a fine art degree qualified me to do nothing, so I started painting for a living. Mm-hmm. And it's been a great life, you mm-hmm. know, just whatever I want it to be. I can live wherever I want as long as I find a market for the work. Mm-hmm. I've chosen to live here. It's great.
Well, yeah, fortunately for us, you've chosen to live here, and now, like our viewers can tell, you love nature.
Yes.
When did this start?
Grew up in the country, mm-hmm. total country. You know, farming, and I should have been a farmer. But went to college as a realistic landscape painter mm-hmm. in the 60s. I wish I could say as a child prodigy, but I wasn't that young. But the realism was dead, so I was forced to become an abstract painter at that time. Mm-hmm. So I took that love of nature, and even in the abstraction, it's all nature-based and earth kind of feelings. And to this day, everything I do is kind of based on nature. It's what inspires me. Usually when I, you know, very seldom, actually you'll see a few paintings this year for the first time with buildings in.
Really?
I don't even paint buildings. It's all birds, plants, landscapes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What was the change then? Why did you change this
A trip
year?
to Europe, mm-hmm. you know, some time in Belgium, mm-hmm. in Bruges, and the great little buildings on the canals. So I did a little series of paintings from Bruges.
Okay, and now I understand that you go to Europe about once a year?
It's my new effort to go to Europe and take a break mm-hmm. from Key West because it gets slow in the fall. And we need to close the gallery at a certain time, you know, just because it gets slow and you need a break. Mm-hmm. And plus it's inspiring. I go and I paint a lot of little European paintings. First year over were all a series on the parks of Europe, mm-hmm. the little tiny parks in the cities. And last year was more on the cities themselves and some of the buildings. Okay. And I'm not sure what's going to happen this year.
Well, I'm excited to see. I already know I'm excited.
Maybe the food this time, because I do a lot of still lifes too.
Okay.
In the work that I do, so a lot of it is food based. So mm-hmm. you never know.
You never know. Well, that's exciting. And now, how did you end up here in Key West, Jim?
Key West, I came here in 1978 to mm-hmm. do the Sidewalk Arts Festival. You know, the downtown arts festival that Florence Recker used to organize all those years. And mm-hmm. it was the great days of arts festivals when you just brought your work and you set up on snow fence. Okay. Instead of the big tents and everything people travel with now.
Right.
And I came down from Pennsylvania, my home state, to get away from the cold weather.
Mm-hmm. Smart.
For a few months in the winter. And this was my very first stop. I signed up for 5 arts festivals in South Florida. Mm-hmm. And Key West was the very first one. And I sold most of the work that year that I brought with me here. And I sold one to a woman, Moira, who opened a gallery that summer, called me and said, can you do a show this winter in Pennsylvania? So I came back the next season mm-hmm. and did a one-man show in 1979, and I've been here every winter since until, 17 years ago, I moved here full-time.
Okay, yeah. 17 years ago, moved here full-time, and just a few years ago, you started up your gallery at 1111 Duval.
Yeah, 3 years ago. It was 3 years in July.
Mm-hmm. 3 years in July.
We had a great opportunity to open our own gallery. My partner in the gallery, Dan Coco, and I, he's also a painter, just decided it was time, with the economy the way it was, to do our own gallery. Mm-hmm. And it's been very successful mm-hmm. and a lot of fun because I can paint whatever I want and I don't have to please a gallery
Isn't
owner.
that nice?
Which is nice, because sometimes galleries used to be very dictative as to what they wanted you to paint.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted you only to paint what sold, and
Right.
never change styles.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that was a little bit frustrating, but now that I own my own place, I can paint whatever, and I can paint from the abstract that I do to the total realism, and hang it all, show it all, and only have myself to answer.
That's not
if
too
it
bad,
doesn't
is
sell.
it? Now, I like the name of your gallery, Jim. How did you come up with this name?
Well, we used R. It was very last minute, first of all.
Really?
Oh yeah, we were closing on the LLC papers and stuff, and we needed a name for the gallery. And after going through all the things, we used our last name. Somebody had recommended that. And then some sort of little tagline, imagine art, you know, to just take it over the top, to let it open to anything we might end up doing there art-wise. Because as we get started and as the years develop, we want to try more things. I will teach out of there at times. I do demonstrations out of there at times. I have some ideas for this winter of maybe some different things to promote the gallery.
Okay, wonderful. And you do classes as well, right, Jim?
I do classes. I do them once in a while at the gallery. I have taught at studios and the college over the years. Right now, I'm teaching on Sugarloaf.
Sugarloaf.
And I've been teaching on Sugarloaf for 10 years at the lodge, and sometimes in the summer at the house.
Okay.
And they're great. It's a great group of people that follow me up there and paint.
Are you accepting new students?
All the time, all the time.
Okay.
Anyone just has to call my number and it's in the book.
Well, teach me how to paint like you, okay, Jim?
Okay, that's great. Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing all this information
You're
with our
welcome.
viewers this morning, for sharing your work. Please check him out on the web at jimsalemart.com, along with his art gallery website, cocoandsalem.com. We're
Thank
going to
you,
take.
Jenna.
Thank you again, and we're going to take a quick break right now, but I'll be right back after these messages, so please stay with me.